morning. See that cute little girl up there? That's my granddaughter. She's about 7 years old. You know, every day her main worries is making sure her doll's hair is combed before she goes to bed, or what type of dress that, her Grammy's going to make for her the next time. This little girl, I don't know her name, but I'll call her Sue, just for the sake of it. She's around 7 years old, too. She's from Southeast Asia. You know what her main concern is, could be? Like one of hundreds of thousands of little girls like this that's being assaulted by an adult every day. She, along with people from other parts of Southeast Asia and even America, there's 100,000 kids here in America that is sold into the sex trafficking trade every year. So it is close to home. It's just not on the other side of the world. The EPC Women's Group has taken into their task to rehabilitate kids who are rescued from the sex trafficking trade. They will be going on a mission trip to Cambodia the last week of this month. Georgia is the Advent representative for that trip, and I'm going to let her give you a little bit more information on the sex trafficking trade, and then I'll be back in a moment to tell you how you can help out.
Good morning. On January 26th, a group of EPC ladies representing churches from all over the United States will embark on a journey to Cambodia. This is not a pleasure trip by any means. This trip is an opportunity to take an in-depth look into the world of international sex trafficking. This word sex trafficking was not a word I was familiar with until recently. Of course, I'd heard of it. I'd even spoken it a few times in my life. You know, it's so easy to let a word just roll right off your tongue and never truly grasp the evil that lurks behind it. Well, after 3 months of reading on sex trafficking, I can tell you I know about the evil. Before I give you a few statistics, let's start with the definition of the word slave. Slave means a system under which people are treated as property to be bought and sold and are forced to work. There are more human slaves in the world than ever before today. The number is around 27 million. Children are brought into the sex trade world as early as 5 years old. Young girls are kidnapped or sold by their parents. In the impoverished country of Cambodia, this is a means of economic survival for many of the families. In other situations, parents sell their children to traders with the false notion that they will provide a good job for them in the city, only to never see them again. During our trip to Cambodia, we will be spending a week with a group of young women who have been rescued. We will be visiting their home called Transitions. They are a nonprofit organization in Cambodia that rehabilitates and transitions girls back into society. As EPC women, our main goal on this trip is to listen, not just to the stories from the girls, but to listen to what God's call is for the women of our denomination. You know, as a Christian woman, this is some really hard stuff. I can honestly tell you that in the 3 months I've been reading about sex trafficking, I've had a knot in the pit of my stomach every time I picked up one of the books or just glanced at them on my bedside table. And for that reason, I feel like I need to go. Because you see, what sickens me to just read about is the stark reality of life for 27 million of God's children. It's my job as a disciple of Christ to tell them Jesus is the same today, yesterday, and forever, and in that they can find hope for the future.
Thanks, Georgia. Now, how can you help? Next week, the Comb Circle will be holding a fundraising luncheon to help offset the expensive cost of this trip to go all the way around the world. We will start serving at 10:30 in Lindsay Hall. You can either eat in or you can get it to go, either one. The cost for adults is $10. The cost for children under 7 is $5. The entree for the adults will be a chicken breast and an orange and sage sauce, so hopefully that makes some of you hungry. For the children, it'll be chicken nuggets and some fries and stuff like that. We would really love for everybody in this room to buy a ticket and help out on the cost of this trip. We will be selling tickets after the service. We'll have the ladies of the Comb Circle down there on this end of the hall. Then at the information desk, you'll have the ugly guys from the Comb Circle selling tickets. So you can take your choice as to which one you want to go to. If you don't have your money today to pay for the ticket, we'll take a reservation and just tell us, hey, you're going to eat and you'll pay next week. We want to, maintain and keep the amount of extra supplies down to a minimum for all the donations as possible to go to the trip. If by chance, we raise more than enough money to offset the cost of this trip, any additional funds will go to the other missions of Advent as well too. So, and wouldn't that be a great thing if we were able to pay for the entire cost of the Cambodia trip and some money for other missions as well? If you have any questions, Georgia and myself would be glad to try to answer the questions. And please, after the service, stop by either end of the hall, either buy a ticket or make your reservation, either one. Thanks.